right, shall we get started? All right, everyone, please rise for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somebody got wise about the
Diana, would you please do the roll call? Committee Member Fondrick,
Present.
Committee Member Wills,
Present.
Committee Member Middlestad,
Present.
Committee Member McMorris. Present. Committee Member Huber.
Present. Present.
Okay, do we have any absences today? No absences? Okay, great. All right, next on the agenda is oath of office. We need to swear in our new members.
It's actually going to be all of you.
Ah,
All of you guys have to do it. So if I can get everybody to stand up, raise your right hand. You too, KT and Dan. Okay. And repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington.
I, Kelly McMorris, do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States and of the state of Washington.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington.
And will, to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability, faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the Roundabout Committee.
and will, to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability, faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the Roundabout Committee.
Position number, whatever your position is,
Position number 1.
for the city of Ridgefield, Washington, as such duties are prescribed by law.
Position number 5 for the city of Ridgefield, Washington, as such duties are prescribed by law.
Thank you.
Do we need to fill out these oath of office forms and give them to you?
You can sign them and then give them back to me at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we need to choose a new chair and vice chair. Our former chair resigned from the committee, and I'm currently the vice chair. So are there any nominations for the Roundabout Committee chair position?
I nominate our current vice chair. Are you available?
Yeah, I think you gotta state your name and then say that who you would like to nominate.
Okay, can I have your full name again?
Kelly McMorris.
McMorris, okay. My name is Kathleen Huber, and I nominate Ms. Morris. Morris, is it? McMorris?
McMorris.
McMorris for the position as chair of the committee.
I consent to the nomination. Are there any further nominations? Okay. Since we have one nomination, may I have a motion and a second to nominate myself, Kelly McMorris, as the new chair?
I motion to nominate Kelly McMorris as the chair.
I second it.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? Okay, the motion is carried. Kelly McMorris is the new chair. Okay, thank you. Are there any nominations for vice chair? I would like to nominate Kathleen for vice chair.
Oh. Thank you. What do I say?
Do you consent to the nomination?
Yes, thank you, and I do consent to the nomination as vice chair.
Okay.
I motion to nominate Kathleen as the vice chair.
Could someone second that nomination?
Second?
All right. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, the motion is carried. Kathleen is the new vice chair.
Thank you, and I accept the position.
Congratulations.
Alrighty. Are there any late changes to the agenda?
No late changes.
All right. So next item on the list is to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
I motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that brings us to public comment. Anyone requesting to speak to the committee regarding all items not subject to a specific public hearing may come forward at this time. Please state your name and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
I'm Steve Rathke. I'm a member of the American Legion. And I'm not sure if they wanted me on this committee or just to speak and let you know what we're looking for the roundabouts. All right, thank you. Anyway, our goal for the country's 250th birthday is to try and get 250 flags along Pioneer and in the roundabouts. We're not that far off. We're 220, 215, something like that. So I think the two roundabouts going south on Royal will probably get us pretty close to those. Now I know the Wells roundabout, I think that's getting flags, but I'm not sure about the one by Rose Hours. I'm not sure about that one. And then there's another one down by University of Washington or
Clark College, I think.
Clark College,
yeah.
down there past 10th. So those should probably get us pretty close, and we're kind of wondering, we need more, we'd like to get some business support to help out with these flags. We have a program where citizens can buy a flag. It's about $100. You get the pole, the flag, and a little dog tag with your name or whatever you want to donate or mention on the flag. We can't guarantee where this flag will be because they're in a bin at the old fire station downtown, and we just put them in cars and go on our merry way with putting them in the streets. We get a lot of help with the scouts for downtown. We have a bunch of people, we have a few people that do the roundabouts. The roundabout on 56th is getting too dangerous for us to go up there. There's just so much traffic. The new roundabout that leads into Pioneer Parkway, the platform is too small to get a car on there. So, and we was wondering if we could get some police help for helping us control traffic in these areas. And we'd like, if we can get business to come in with this, we'd like to give them the flags to put out in the roundabouts or where like the Rose Hours on Royal. If some business in that area would like to take charge of that, we can give them the 10, 11 flags, whatever it is. They can put those out on the holidays. That leaves, we're a small group, the American Legion. And we love it when the scouts can help us, but if they have school on the holiday, we don't get their help. So it's really hard for all of us. We're all up there in age. We don't have very many young members. And 3 of us over the last year have just gotten triple bypass surgery, so we're working as best we can. And that's about all I got to say, so any help or any comments would be great that we can fall back on. Thank you.
I had a question for you. What dates are you looking at? Or do you have anything planned at this point in
Well,
time?
the dates for,
Placement of the flags?
well, they're on holidays,
On
all the national holidays.
Then, yeah, so the one, you want to expand them to 250? You have about 215 now.
Right.
So
But
the-
I don't know if the Lee's,
Right.
the Wells has
Sure.
holders for them, if that's been done yet. I don't know if the one by, the second one down Royal has been
Right.
done for flags.
Yeah, I don't know either, and I think that's a good thing to ask.
So, I
find
mean,
out
we'd have to
whether-
get with the city,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
once we find out how many more flags we can get, I mean, my estimate is like 215, 220.
Okay.
So we need, let's say 30 flags, 30, 35 more flags, and I would think
Mm-hmm.
the 2 roundabouts would almost take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure about the college one down there, at
Okay.
the end of the Pioneer, if that has flags or not. I work downtown, so I don't do the roundabouts.
Mm-hmm. That's Clark College, as we
Clark
were saying, we don't
College.
know about them. Okay, holes for placements.
And then I know we put flags out on 56th,
Yeah,
but with all the new businesses that have opened up, we can't get anybody to do that.
right.
It's just-
So maybe we need something where the police could perhaps guide
Well,
traffic for a little bit.
We would like the police to help, but we understand that during the holidays,
Sure.
they're not full force either.
True.
So now you gotta have people come in on their days off or volunteer, but that's where we're standing, so.
Okay. So are you looking for contributions then? Is that something you
We'll
would-
always take a contribution.
Okay, but I'm saying, are going to be looking at citizens? Is that something you want?
Well, we'd like to get the citizens involved in the flags,
Do you
buying
have
the
a
flags.
thought on how you might do that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's just
We're
what-
just throwing it out to you guys.
I see. Okay, just was
And,
curious.
The businesses would help a lot if
Mm-hmm.
we could get the businesses to volunteer to take charge of these roundabouts.
Okay, have you ever done that with the businesses before?
No.
No, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Did I understand there's permanent holders? I thought they were just positioned in the roundabouts.
Well, I know the 56th Street one has them, but we don't do them anymore.
Oh, good to
I'm not sure about Clark College and the one on 10th Avenue down there. I think we do that one, and I'm not sure if we do Clark College yet. So we would need to have those holders put in. And I'm not sure about the other 2 on Royal going south toward the Wells and the one right after Pioneer. If they're set up to take flags.
May I interject? So some of the roundabouts, Dan, do have flag holders on the exterior of the roundabout circle, the exterior of the interior circle. Not all of them do at this point in time. We do have some slated to still have them installed, but I will need to verify on the ones on Royal. I don't know that information. I'll check.
And another thing we wanted to do is the one that leads to Costco, the new one that was built. We can't put flags in there, but we'd like to get a tall flagpole, just a flagpole with a 40, 50, 60-foot flagpole with the flag there right in the center, instead of putting flags around where we can't access that. We don't know if that can be,
A flag would be difficult because the flag has to be lit at night.
right.
So there would have to be outlet there for that to occur. You can't just put the flag up and not have it lit. So that's
Really?
another consideration
Well,
for that
there's,
pole.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's just something we wanted to throw
sure.
out there.
No, good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to come here and let us know about that. Is there anyone online who would like to contribute for public comment? Nope. Then, let's move on to welcoming our new committee members.
So first and foremost, I would like to say welcome. I'm happy to see everybody here tonight. As a side note, I do have cupcakes for those of you who are here in person. So thank you for joining us again. I wanted to take a few minutes and just have each of our committee members kind of introduce themselves, say why they're interested in the committee, and what they're, not to be too cliche, but what you're excited about.
My name is Joel Fondrick, and I have been a resident of 98642 for about 15 years. I've lived here in Ridgefield for 4 years. I've been in the construction industry for 26 years, working primarily in the housing market. Also, it's about 80% residential, 20% commercial, doing exterior and interior design. I was excited to get involved. My fiance is on city council, and so I was able to see a little bit more of the inner workings of the city and what's available, and to give back. And I was mentioning earlier to some of the other members here that my kids are a little older, and so I have time to give back to more things. And I thought this was a great opportunity to get involved and help shape the view. And I think that's the thing that I'd probably be the most excited about, is some of the artwork and different things that are going into the roundabouts and how that shapes the view of the city as people drive through. And I think it's a great way. I was mentioning I recently drove through Wilsonville, and they have a tremendous amount of roundabouts in Wilsonville. And it was interesting to see I was taking notice of the different art installations and landscaping and things that they have there. And I think that it's one of those things that you don't necessarily think about, but the feeling you get when you drive through the city is there. And I think that helping shape that is something that I would be the most excited about.
That's great. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right, Caitlin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Caitlin Wills. I go by Katie. It's spelled KT. I am a professional wetland scientist. I have worked in Cowlitz and Clark County in the development and environmental permitting sort of area for over the last 10 years. I write a lot of technical reports that include mitigation plans. So I have good knowledge of native plants and what will grow well in certain places with low water restrictions, that sort of a thing. My son is 8 and he goes to Union Ridge Elementary just down the street there. And I drive up and down Pioneer probably 3 or 4 times a day. And I second what Joel said. I love the feeling of driving into Ridgefield from anywhere else. It is peaceful. It feels like family, and I wanted to be part of continuing that. I think you guys have done a great job, and I'm excited to be part of the team.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited to have a wetland scientist on our team.
Yeah.
That's going to be some really helpful information. Anything else?
I was thinking that everybody could do a little introduction since not everyone has met everyone. And
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go first. My name's Kelly, and I am an artist, and I help out by drawing up concepts of our ideas for the roundabout, to help all of us visualize our ideas and to help City Council also visualize our ideas. And I've lived in Ridgefield for about 3 years, and I have 2 kids who go to Southridge Elementary. Yeah, that's me. You want to go, Kathleen?
Sure. I never know how these things work. My name is Kathleen Huber, and I've lived in Ridgefield for 7 years. I don't have any specific background in agriculture, construction, or the like, but I have a keen interest in the idea of how these roundabouts can truly represent the city, its history, and its perhaps even vision for the future, though we haven't quite discussed that as yet. I'm an avid gardener, and I really appreciate the focus on sustainability, the incorporation of native plants, and the committee. I cannot be happier with being in this group of people who are so dedicated to that concept, and I'm really grateful to be able to be here. It's a real honor to represent. I really feel I guess the general thing is I feel that this can give something back to the city. You can really have an impact on everybody's day. You know, you see the artwork, you can know a little bit about its history, and I think it's a real value, and I appreciate that opportunity.
Oh,
That's all, folks.
thank you, Kathleen. Dan, could you introduce yourself?
Yep, I'm Dan Middlestadt. I'm a 10-year Ridgefield resident. I'm an engineer and have twin 13-year-old daughters, and I spend a lot of time on Pioneer too, and am excited to drive up and down it. And I also am interested in the kind of the connection to how the roundabouts are an opportunity for connection to the community, I think. So, and kind of all facets from what grows there, or how the art is presented, or how the flags are put around, and so yeah, happy to be for the opportunity to participate as well.
All right, that's everyone. Did Miranda, or would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Fortunately, I've gotten an opportunity to meet with Joel and Katie. Katie, sorry, I keep wanting to just do your initials. So Miranda Lang, my background is civil engineering. I've worked in state government at the Colorado DOT. I've been a consultant. I've worked with the feds and both federal highways and federal rail. And now I've been here at Ridgefield since mid-August. So still learning a lot of the ropes and stuff, but I am the staff representative for this committee and thoroughly enjoy that. So thank you.
Okay, great. Now that we've all introduced ourselves, let's move on to item number 2, progress update for the design of South, Wells, and Royal Roundabout.
Yes. So there have been many discussions. We presented at council on, what was that, the 18th of December-ish? It was right before the holidays. Received some really good feedback, and council has had some additional discussions amongst themselves since then. So first and foremost, they are very, very grateful for all of the work that has been done to date and the ideas that have been presented. They do have a few ideas of input prior to finalization, but again, they want to reiterate their appreciation. Their thought processes are a little bit in line with where you were a couple meetings ago, with some refinements to it. They do agree, they do now want more than one piece of art in the roundabout. They want to see it a scene of some sort going all the way around, whereas right now we were, we had 2 and then we reduced it to 1. They want more of a scene going all the way around. So if they decided they wanted to drive all the way around, they could see, kind of that history of farming throughout the roundabout itself. One of the other things that they really want to see is a piece of farm equipment centered in the roundabout. We do have an opportunity from one of the council members, and I know this has gone back and forth many, many times. And the background that I was given on it was originally that the thought process was to put it on 4 corners. That was vetoed for safety reasons. So now the thought process is putting a piece of farm equipment in the center of a roundabout on a footing of sorts, without an engine or motor, no seats, and really nothing that could be like a projectile if hit by a car, anything like that, if one happened to make it through a knee wall. As far as landscaping goes, one of the requests are to remove deciduous plants and scale back to really make it more of that farming type feeling with it, with doing native grasses or really low growing plants, to just kind of stick with that farming theme. And if trees are preferred by the committee, they are hoping that they will be evergreen trees. Okay? And then There are concerns with the words on the panels, so they would prefer not to have any wording. And let me finish going through my notes just to double check. Think farm, not forest for the vegetation. Mention that. The centerpiece, I think I covered everything. Questions? Feel free, have at me.
Were they suggesting any particular type of farm equipment, given what they're looking at? I mean, are we talking the combine? What are you looking at?
So probably, right, and I did ask that. So Lee Wells, one of our council members, does have some farm equipment that he is willing to donate to the roundabout itself. I have requested for us to get some photos of what the options were. Those have not been provided to me quite yet. We just actually had the rest of this conversation this morning. So it's been a very short turnaround. When I asked that question, I was also told that it's kind of at your all's discretion of what you would like to see there, what genre, what age, and to see what we could come up with as far as how to procure that.
Are they willing to coat it so that it won't rust out completely if it's a piece of, I'm assuming it's going to be metal.
Yeah, well, it will be metal.
Some kind of preservative, so is the council able to understand that might cost a little bit?
That discussion was not held, so I'll write that down.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we need to think long term.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they chose a wagon of some sort, then that would have to be considered as well.
Okay.
Is it, do we have a picture of the graphics that we sent to the council so that our new members can see what we're talking about?
We do. Can I email it over to you? No? Okay, that computer's not working. So, here, let's see if we can do this. So this was the,
I did see it. You can show it to me.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I met with them one-on-one. This was,
Oh, okay, so they've seen that, okay.
okay. I don't know.
And it was supposed to be now more of an round shape, it's not
Yes,
going to be straight. so
they
wanted-
loved the curve. They agreed with you guys on the curved design.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I can get close enough. Let's be creative.
It's not showing up.
Oh, gosh. All right. Workers' comp.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry, Dawn.
That's dedication.
Okay, there you go.
Very
Oh,
good.
nice.
Look at that.
Very good.
Yay!
Thank
Maybe
you.
we can send them an email with it.
Yes, I can definitely set that up.
So,
May I ask?
go ahead.
This is Katie. I'm having a hard time hearing a couple of you folks. Have you already said, could we get pictures of the farm equipment so that we can think about feasibility?
Yes, I've
Like
requested.
what we already have, I guess, would be easy.
Yes, from Mr. Wells, I can definitely get those photos from him. I'm guessing it'll take a week or two, maybe, depending on how quickly he gets out to take photos.
Yeah, I would have the same question that Kathleen said as far as the coating or something on there in regards to whether it's metal and it rusting out or wood obviously deteriorating, but I think left out in the elements, it's not going to take that long before something like that kind of gets into a state of deterioration that was going to have to be replaced or dealt with.
Exactly.
And then did you say that it was going to be, my understanding was that if it is, it would be in the center, is that correct?
Correct.
And would it be raised?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said on a footer or pedestal.
Like how, any sort of height that they've mentioned at all?
They did not.
Okay.
Okay, so. My concern with that is if it's on a pedestal and we're trying to make it look in a more natural state, i.e. using grasses, that could look a little awkward given how small the area is and just how much is already there. Did the council really take into consideration how many signs are there? How much, it's such a small area. There's a piece of concrete here, there's a chunk of this there. just growing grasses could, I think, prove to look very, for want of a better word, sparse.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's not a big roundabout to begin with, and then there's some pretty big utility boxes taking up space, ground area. And yeah, there's signs around the roundabout. And now they also want art going all the way around the exterior.
I
right?
will, yes, with the exception of enough room to be able to access the middle of the roundabout. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would it be art going around the outside and an installation in the middle, or one or the other?
I think they were talking
They're
about
talking
both.
They were talking both.
That
Okay,
seems to be pretty busy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that I can see, depending on what we can do with the vegetation to mitigate that. My concern would be, we need to really spend some time with our artist, thinking of a way of how we might divide up the different scenes. Perhaps a tree here, the same trees would break up this scene from this scene. You're gonna also have to allow enough space so that utility workers and the gardeners can get in there. So it can't necessarily be completely circumvented. There has to be an opening.
Correct.
I would think on two sides just to be a balanced look. So I'm thinking more of a, not quite 360 maybe, you know? Just way you, anyway, that's my sense of it, and that we really need to look at what are those scenes going to give. Did you get any input when they said scenes? The one we have is one, but then there's.
We had the barn.
We have I love the barn. There's a barn, but there's.
I had the idea, I don't know if it's a grandiose scale, but to like repurpose in a way, there's the silo that wasn't able to be reused that's being across here from Rosar's, that if there was a way to replicate something like that kind of sticks with something that's in the history of Ridgefield, but that puts it back into another space that kind of sticks with that. Because I know there was a lot of conversation about that silo being reused somewhere at some point, and it wasn't able to be done.
Oh,
And
that's a
so
thought.
I wondered if that was something, whether it's this roundabout or a different one, if that might be an idea to be able to try to replicate that somewhere else
Right.
as well.
I think when you look at a silo, the only concern I would have would be height. You don't want it to look
Yeah.
like a missile going off,
Yeah.
sort of thing, you know?
I,
And the thing about the different scenes, I like the idea of maybe incorporating a silo and a barn or something like that in one area. One of the gentlemen that came, I can't remember his name, he had a farm over in Carty Road. He talked about his barn, that it was a special kind of barn, that they're very rare. And he was
that's
right,
redoing it.
yeah.
Dutch
Something.
gambrels.
So I
yeah,
thought
yeah. Yeah.
that design might be helpful to throw in there. I don't know. So,
is it possible, forgive me for being obviously a new member here, and this is an opportunity for us to kind of spitball ideas.
Sure.
So I wonder if it is a tractor or something that's in the middle, if there's a way to put grasses around the outside that make it look like it's the tractor's mowing the grass. You know, or like going through a field, plowing the field, you know, in the middle of that. But the grass that's growing around it, is at a height that makes it look like the tractor's just going through a field.
that's nice, but again, our roundabout that we're dealing with is so small.
Yeah.
That's my concern. I agree with that concept, but I don't know if you've gone to see it.
Yeah, I lived out right.
Oh,
by
well,
it.
I do
drive
too.
by
So,
all the
yeah,
time.
now, all
Yeah.
right, we're neighbors.
Yeah.
So there's so much going on, I get concerned about grass.
Yeah.
And that it would end up, especially in the wintertime, looking like a sore tooth.
The when I was again recently in Wilsonville, one of the scenes that I saw that I thought was interesting was they had it was metal pieces that were art installations of like deer kind of chasing each other in the field that I thought were kind of cool. And obviously we have a lot of deer in this area, and I don't know if something like that, you know, as far as if there's a plow on one side or some deer on the other side, or you know, if there's a way to incorporate something like that that kind of pulls back to the nature of Ridgefield.
Good
was
thought.
a thought that I had.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Katie has her hand up.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, Katie.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You guys were having a good conversation there. I just had some ideas as far as the plans go. The areas where the electrical boxes are and maybe wouldn't be hidden as well by certain grasses, you could incorporate other sort of harvestable crops, right? Blueberries or raspberries, something that has color. The birds could eat it. It would, you know, be good for habitat if the birds can use it. Another idea of, instead of all different types of grasses. You could just, the way you did the plants in the front 2 ways could make it look like crops if they were like different colors, different types that was obvious. So it might look like rows of crops sort of a thing, but maybe we still just use, you know, evergreen shrubs or something for one of those colors so it's lasting. I think there's some ways to incorporate it because grasses still are seasonal. So at some point when it rains, they're just going to go and kerplop down. So you're going to, I would think, going to want something a little sturdier there to be left behind. Another idea I had, could there be a small space for some kind of seasonal crop, like actually go plant the corn and let the corn grow next to this farming equipment? Nobody to pick it, but, and then it could be used for any October decorating downtown or something once it goes dry.
I don't know if the Park and Recreation would like that. That would, my gut says that they would not particularly like to farm. I don't know. But what about, don't we have a list? I think we talked about that once, of plants. I think it'd be nice to get that list. Because that might, I just don't have that, I don't have like you do, Katie, or you do, that wealth of knowledge that I could come up with it off the top of my head. So we're looking at native plants that, and they said evergreen too, so, you know, the only thing I could think of was that red bark dogwood is pretty, and that kind of hides stuff. I don't know how big it gets. But maybe if we had that list, it would help the committee, all the members, take some time between now and February and really look at the plants, and our artists can go to work and design the round thing, the design itself, perhaps, I don't know. It's a fun.
Are you talking, Kathleen, the plant list that Heather had sent out, or are you talking the plant list that was provided by Jane at Nature Play Designs?
Oh, I didn't see that list, but I was thinking the broader one.
Okay.
The old chair had.
Okay.
I thought it might be helpful.
Perfect.
Is there something like that available?
There is, yes. We'll get it emailed out.
Okay.
Looks like Katie's got her
Can
hand
I
raised.
just speak on the plants for a second too? Are you talking about a specific plant list that City of Ridgefield likes to use, or Clark County has a greater plant list that is all different types of natives, and they have it segregated out by evergreens versus deciduous? So I could share that with you guys. I use it all the time.
Cool. That would be wonderful, I think. What do you think?
I use it every time I'm designing a mitigation area, so.
What are the words that they want going around it?
So in the previous design, it showed honoring Ridgefield's architectural heritage. They don't want any words. And some of that stems from, that can create differing opinions of, okay, we're honoring Ridgefield's heritage, but we're also developing like crazy. So that can, both sides of the coin. Like, do you love roundabouts or do you hate roundabouts type discussion. So.
I think that having both the art going all the way around the roundabout and some farm equipment in the middle is just gonna be too much stuff.
It feels very busy.
It's a lot.
And it's so small.
Yeah, it's a lot for people to look at. And it's also metal on metal. The idea that we had for the art that's going around the exterior, they're kind of like a metal cutout silhouettes. Kind of similar to the art that just went in on the Pioneer Roundabout, where it's a cutout with birds.
Yeah.
Same thing, except it's going to be like a farmer with a plow. And so it's metal. And so through the holes of the silhouette, you're going to be looking at another metal thing. And I just don't think that's going to look nice.
I agree completely.
I think it would be a lot nicer to look that the metal silhouette has a background of foliage, something to contrast it with and make it a little easier to understand.
I think, I think it either needs to be pieces that are going around the outside or something in the middle, but not both.
Yeah.
I think it's something in the middle that needs to be the standalone piece versus both, I think it gets way too busy.
You
But
know,
I do think that I do think that
That's a good
it
point.
shouldn't just be on one side or two sides. I think no matter which direction you're driving at the roundabout, you should be able to see some sort of installation. So it seems like something in the middle could be more easy to accomplish that with having something on a raised thing in the middle that's everybody can see from all four sides.
I just have an issue with that altogether. I would prefer to do what the cutout, and the reason being is because it is so small. I mean, if we had a real picture of how it was, there's so much electrical boxes and things that to have this big hunk of metal in the middle, and farm equipment is large.
Are they? I mean, if we're talking about like a combine, obviously.
Well,
yeah, but
no,
like
well, even a
tractor.
tractor, I mean, because of the size of the roundabout, it seems to me problematic, and I agree with you that 2 could be overkill. And then what do you do about the plants? What do you do about our commitment to using sustainable plants? Given that that area then to plant is that much more smaller, very minimal then, I would think.
What's the diameter of the inside circle? Do you know?
50 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did council give a recommendation on whether they would prefer something in the middle or on the outside?
No, so the presentation was showing the curved silhouette on the outside going around. It was in their discussions that they've had since the presentation that they decided that they would like something in the middle as well.
So they would prefer something in the middle and something around the outside?
That's what was conveyed to me, yes.
Were they made aware of how much electrical boxes is there? Do they know, were they really aware of all of that? It's not that I understand their premise. I really appreciate that. I'm just concerned that they really weren't aware perhaps of just how busy that small area is, and that 50 feet is not a lot of space.
So in the presentation, I mentioned that there were a lot of electrical vaults and utilities in there, but we didn't go into specifics on that.
Okay.
It could be that if we came back with a proposal that didn't include the artwork, but it included the farm equipment, that would meet the intent.
Won't be easy.
Miranda, do you have anything that shows the electrical boxes on that roundabout as well, as far as like where they're at and
Oh, you mean
where?
It is here. It's just kind of hard to read. It says, see, maintain access to utilities.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's
Yeah.
one marked here and then marked here.
The other thing is, are they going to, or was it discussed to raise up the area so that, for, what do they call that, the foot? Are they going to include
knee
that?
wall?
The knee wall.
What about it?
Are they going to include one there, a big one?
Include a big knee wall?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we kind of have a standard of including knee walls on all our roundabouts.
right, so would that take away from the area in which we would be able to use it? Because then the art on the inside would go on the inside, and that just narrows everything down even more?
A tiny bit. I mean, the knee
Not
wall's
much.
already there, I think.
There is not
There's not
currently
one.
a
Oh,
knee
really?
wall.
No,
Oh,
there's
okay,
not.
sorry.
That's why I
Sorry,
mentioned
my
it.
bad.
That's
So is
okay.
That's okay.
50 feet include is that after the knee wall or before the knee wall?
It's before the knee wall.
So
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
thick is the knee wall?
I think
Oh, they look like
I
a
think
foot.
they're 12 inches.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good.
So you're taking 2 feet, 40, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be, perhaps we can look at this from both directions. Well, 3 in actual, the plants can be 1, just the circular thing, and then just the piece of equipment. And get a size, when we get the dimension for the equipment, that'll give us a better idea of how to handle that. Maybe if we look at it both ways,
Reverse engineer it from the size of the
versus
equipment.
all of it at once, together. Which I agree was too busy. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. I mean, that way we'd address the committee's, the council's concerns, and then manage our concerns as well.
Okay. One thing I will let you consider as well is we don't have to put in the knee wall. That's
I
not
think
a,
it's important.
yeah, it's not a requirement though.
That's, I'm sure that's true, like, it's not, there's no like law that it has to be there.
Correct.
It is part of like our design standards though, and it was something that was requested of us, I think on our very first committee meeting. I'm not sure what his title is, the person who's in charge of maintaining all the roundabouts came in and just really sincerely asked for a knee wall to protect the maintenance workers in all of the roundabouts.
Right, that would make sense.
And they do protect the contents of the roundabouts, as we saw when 65th got hit.
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
It seems
It
like a
protects
very
the art.
important thing if it's protecting the people that are working in there as well. I think that seems like something we need to stick to. Is it possible to draw, I mean, if the council's asking for something with art going all the way around or on four sides and the interior, just to show how, like, kind of the busyness of that, or?
Yeah, that's something we could do, is that I could draw concepts of both, or of them separate, a roundabout with the art around the exterior and with a piece of farm equipment. I'm not sure what I'm gonna draw for that, but
Yeah.
I'll just draw a tractor or a wagon or something, with that in the center.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the city council will choose one and not make us try to do both.
Right.
I don't know, Dan, Katie, what are your thoughts?
Are you proposing several different options, one that wouldn't include art?
They both include, well, one has the art and one has the farm equipment, yeah. Two options.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it will be too busy. I've been admiring the newly installed art we have on Pioneer, and the interaction with other objects in the roundabout, and when it's showcased the best, you know. And I would agree that I think the metal on metal probably would not be as effective. Unless there's a scale factor or some other thing that we're not. So having a mock-up sometimes helps. Like we how big are the objects and what are they? And I wondered about the grasses. I think there's grasses that stay upright a lot of the year, but I don't know what flexibility we have on the types of grasses. And I mean, they could change color over the year and things like that too. That I mean, I would rather, if we install grasses, that they be substantial and not like falling over, and so that they stay most of the time an active part of the roundabout.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my only other thought.
Definitely, if for the concept with the farm equipment in the center, there's not going to be a lot of space left for plants. And so there's a risk, I think, of it looking a little sparse.
Right.
And that's definitely something that we would need to emphasize, is to, in that case, to choose plants that are going to look really dense and full in the limited space that we would have.
I would agree, yeah.
Right. And the other thing that I always think about is that we are in an environment, like you said, a lot of rain. The grasses are going to go over. We get hail, we get rain, and we do get occasional snow. So all of that is going to impact, and wind. They get a pretty good hefty gusts now and then. So all of that is part and parcel to being very difficult to use grasses. Maybe you could put one or two around, I don't know. But I do think that maybe the idea of the evergreens is a better idea, especially if we end up with the farm equipment. It can hide that pedestal it's on, or however it's going to be installed better. Perhaps. I don't know.
Katie,
As I said, I don't know the plants, so.
Katie, do you have any thoughts on what you think would be good foliage to put around there?
I've pulled up my website. One of them that I really like isn't working tonight, of course. But there's another one that shows all the native grasses. And in my brain, I went, those are going to flop over first high windstorm. So we would, and Dan is right. There are other grasses, taller grasses, fountain grasses, those sort of a thing that aren't necessarily a native crop, but could mimic one and aren't invasive. So if we could think about it that way, you know, we could be mimicking something, but maybe choose something that's a little sturdier. Fountain grasses are a little more dense edges. I like the idea of either or with the farm equipment and or art, unless the art pieces are small little, you know, I know that one that's got the large like heron on top and the owl and the log, and then there's a couple little, just a heron here and a heron here. If they were small like that, maybe it wouldn't overwhelm everything, but yeah, 50 feet landscaping, and I mean, a tractor versus a hand plow would make a big difference also. So I think there's a lot of variables we need to kind of hammer down what, you know, maybe we let the city council choose their farm equipment and then we push back on wishy-washy grasses. You know what I mean?
So I will definitely ask Lee when we can get those photos from him, and then we'll send them out to you all. I had a thought for you all to consider. Rather than, I know up to this point we've thought a little bit about having a large silhouette. What if that got shrunken down a bit and went roughly, I don't know, 150 degrees on either side of the circle, but that became the knee wall?
You mean the metal? The sculpture itself would be the knee wall. We discussed a knee wall that had, didn't we at one point, that had things put inside of it, so there would just be the metal at all?
As a consideration.
I see.
Is there a cost factor to that would be contributed, or that would be constrictive? I mean, versus a cement knee wall, I imagine is less expensive than doing a metal knee wall.
I'd have to check into that. I don't know off the top of my head how much just a knee wall would cost to construct and for it to be retrofitted into here. Getting the cost for the metal would be, we're working with AIG locally to do that, so we could get that cost from them as well, if this was a path we wanted to go down.
But would the tensile strength of that metal have to be much greater than what just an artistic installation would be?
So it would be different, yes.
Yeah, so
it
you're
would be
looking at
different.
probably a greater expense. Okay.
Yeah, I think you'd still
The
have to have
function-
some sort of footings.
Yeah, to mount them on,
Yeah.
absolutely. To put it in perspective, the installation of the artwork at the Discovery Drive, which is the bird, and the log, so that from AIG was roughly $11,000. And then for the installation with the footers and actual placement of it by the contractor was about $26,000.
And that was with the high schoolers doing the welding, right?
Correct. We only paid metal
Yeah.
for the cost of the supplies.
Would that be the case with this as well? If we did something with the high school would be donating the welding?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good,
So not
Wow.
confirmed yet, but that's the goal.
great.
I like the idea of decorating the knee wall somehow, whether it's with metal or other form of artwork, because it has a clearly defined background, which is the concrete, and it doesn't conflict with other stuff that might be in there the same way.
Yeah, and it gives us more room in the diameter of that for foliage.
I think the cost may be prohibitive. I'm not sure what it would take to actually embed something in there. That might be quite, I mean, I don't know. It would have to be looked at to see the cost involved in
Was
that.
the plan to just put the installation into the dirt if it was in the center of the knee wall?
It would still require footers.
Yeah, so if it would still require footers,
Yeah.
it'd be less expensive to put it on the outside of the knee wall or in the knee wall.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Good
yeah,
concept.
I think that if we're just talking about literally taking the metal silhouettes and shrinking them down to knee wall size, like 12 inches, Is that what you mean?
So the height of a knee wall is about 2 feet.
Okay.
The depth of it, the thickness of it is roughly about 12 inches, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So what if we went like 3 feet above the knee wall?
Above the knee wall?
Yeah, so it's like a 5-foot total height from the knee wall height to the, so you have like a 3-foot sculpture on top of the knee wall. So you've got 5 feet there. I think that honestly even adds a little bit more protection to the workers that are inside of there. It's got to have a footing anyway, so it's embedded, and then it gives us more room for foliage on the interior of that knee wall, so that we can have more of the grasses or plants or things that we're talking about. You know, if you put it on the outside on that edge,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
all the way around.
Oh,
So I think it'd be cheaper to do it that way than to put it in the footing that's having to be put in there anyway. And then we have more room for the stuff that we want, that we're talking about for foliage.
good point.
So one thing I also want to remind you of is that they requested less vegetation. Think farm, not forest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the idea that Katie had about, you know, if there was a way to make it look like it was rows of fields being plowed in the middle there, if it's some sort of a farm equipment in the middle with the art installation around the outside, I think that would look pretty cool with, you know, if you had like the what you drew already with the plow in the knee wall with a tractor or something in the middle, and if the foliage looked more like farmland type of field versus a lot of plants. It seems like that's what they're kind of requesting.
Yeah. What if we used, off the top of my head, put in a few rocks? So here's the equipment parked. It's sort of parked, not plowing. So that minimizes the plants per se, takes up a lot of space, is less expensive if they're worried about sometimes I think city council is worried about expense, and now I'm not sure on this one. And then we could put, you know, some of the grasses, you came up with the idea around the rocks a little bit, so it's more of a park, it's not, and then your idea, I mean, if they want both.
I just wonder if the rocks in the middle take away from it feeling like farmland.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, Lee Wells would have hauled a rock out of his field a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, okay, small rock then. Okay, all right.
So I'm going
Interesting.
to read you a few of the, oh, it's actually up there. On the back. Notes on there too. Thank you. So during the council meeting, a few other things that they said in regards to the scene going around was make the hat on the farmer appear to be more like a straw hat. They threw out different things, livestock, animals, barns, with the scene that goes all the way around. So that's really those three things. Livestock, animals, barn. Are
Is
what
your
they
sense they're
suggested.
very vested in that, from what you're?
In the scene that goes all the way around, yes. I
Okay,
did get
that's
that
what I'm hearing
feeling
what you're
from it.
saying now.
I did pull up a Google Maps image of the roundabout, an aerial. It's not fantastic. If you guys want me to bring my computer over. And,
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I drive by it a
okay?
lot.
Okay.
Yeah, my 2 cents would be that we do some sort of art installation that goes at least around where you can see it from all 4 sides, whether it's contiguous or not, or if it's just on 4 corners to where it kind of sits in the knee wall with farm equipment in the middle with some sort of vegetation that looks like it's plowing a field. Which I think would accomplish what council's kind of asking for. But then I still think, depending on how high that is and how high the pedestal is, or the raised area is where the farm equipment is, could still seem too busy. But I think it would just have to proportionally. I think if you're under 3 feet on that art installation, I think it's gonna feel miniature when you drive around it. So I think 3 feet minimum has to be, if it's gonna be going around the outside. So 5 feet total with the knee wall height and that. which means that center pedestal has to be probably 5 feet tall with the art, with the
I don't
barnacle
see
on
that
top
as
of it. I
happening
mean,
at all.
It's-
No,
It seems
that's too
very
much.
busy at
It's
that
gonna,
point.
yeah, I
That would
think
be-
it's just,
That won't
it's
work.
just trying to fit so much
Into
in.
a small space, yeah.
I agree that, like, if the art around, going around the circle in the exterior, if it's too small, cars are not even gonna notice
Yeah,
it.
what's the
True.
point?
If it's too tall, then the pedestal in the middle has to be even
Giant.
taller, and then what's on that? A tractor? We don't know.
Yeah, you got
Right.
It's gonna, and it's
20
just
foot
gonna
in
be
the air.
towering.
Right, exactly.
This wedding cake of metal.
Right.
And I live over in
I know.
those neighborhoods,
Yeah.
like a lot of us do, and I really wanted to see the foliage there. Because
Right.
when you look out, it's just the gray roofs. Just
exactly.
gray roofs, all of them exactly the same because they were all built at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's break it up. And a tower of metal is not what I had in mind.
Yeah, I think if the council is able to see a picture of, what you were mentioning, I think if you can, draw a rendering that shows one with just the art on the outside in the knee wall, and one with the middle piece, and then one with both. Because I think if they see both together, they're going to be like, that's way too busy.
Maybe, yeah.
Perhaps so.
Yeah.
I hope
They
common
do
sense would
definitely
work.
see vested too in the.
It's a little hard,
idea.
really, to conceptualize from a rendering. You know, like 5 feet is about eye level on a lot of vehicles, right? So, like, if
It'll be a
the artwork goes up that high, you're looking through that to see the.
Maybe we need to place a person, like a silhouette of an actual, like a 6 foot tall man or woman standing there that is like proportionate, so they can see what it would look like
Yeah.
height wise to where they'd be
It's going to look
driving.
like a cylinder, and that's it. And it's not going to have any sense of, I don't know, no flow, no sense of softness or natural, which I would prefer personally. I think I like a lot of your ideas. The dimensions for the piece of art, I'm sure you guys have already discussed that as far as the going around. There has to be access for recreation and utility workers, parks, et cetera. Well, off the top of my head, what if there's old plows, the old hand ones? They're kind of big. They're metal. What if they, instead of a big hunk, we got 1 or 2 old plows and stuck it in there instead? I don't know. What do you think? Just a plow.
Yeah, I think that.
Not a tractor, just a couple of little old plows that are interspersed in the plants. And then you leave your thing in the circle, and then
I do think that I like that
Plows
that's
are
more
there.
subtle, but I do think it goes back to what you said, is you're just like looking through metal on metal on metal.
yeah, I agree with that. But with a plow, it's open. I mean, I'm talking, the old
Yeah,
ones.
like the wooden plows.
Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the one that's in the picture of a hand plow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he has one of those. We could use that. You don't have to put it in the center per se. That wouldn't look like a cylinder and up on anything. It could be lower down. It's a smaller footprint, but it's still a piece of equipment. So they get both. It's smaller. Something. I don't know.
So I guess
It's hard to think through.
It seems like what we need is the picture of whatever Lee Wells is willing to donate before we can even come up with a rendering to get an idea of what proportionally
yeah.
that would look like.
So, and I apologize, as I mentioned, I just got this information this morning, and then I had meetings all day, so I didn't get a chance to do due diligence and pull up any images or anything. However, I did just Google farm implements from, I just put in 1950s, just kind of mid-century. It is a very wide gamut of options, ranging in significant size, from relatively small to much, much larger. But I will work with Lee and get some images and get them out to everybody. And then perhaps we can go from there, from that perspective.
Can he give us dimensions? I mean, can you give us the idea, like, what are we looking at in width and length? Because it might not fit if it's too big.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have at least a general idea of what size we're looking at. It'd be especially helpful for her if she's going to draw something. Those dimensions will help her. Don't you think?
Oh, I fully agree. And
Okay.
I may need to just go out and with him and see what we can take pictures of and whatnot, which I don't mind doing at all. Well, we'll see what he's open to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like Katie's got her hand raised.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me, this is my first meeting. I have created an image using AI, just a conceptual thing. I just typed in what I wanted. Am I allowed to share that image with you guys during this meeting, or is it something that, please advise?
Share your screen? Is that what you're asking?
Can I drop it in the chat? Is that a way to do it?
We think chat might be off, but do you have the ability? Try it and see what happens, or do you have the ability to share your screen?
I will give it a shot here.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet in a long time. Let's see, screen, this one, share. Let me know what you can see.
We can see it.
Yeah, I think something like
Totally
that.
conceptual.
Yeah.
So I use AI all the time. You can just say, I hate the silo, take it out. You know what I mean? And you can say, use a hand plow instead, or I don't like the cabbage, or you know what I mean? And it will just tweak it however you want. I don't know if you guys are big into that, but.
Yeah, I think that looks, in my opinion, I think that looks pretty cool. I think the only problem is if they want the artwork around the outside as well, then that tractor's gonna have to be 10 feet in the air to be able to make it proportionately fit. And I guess that's the question, is being able to present that to council, to be able to let them see how busy that would be with something like this with the art around the outside.
Right. And I'm thinking, the artwork would have to be smaller, and there'd have to be spaces in between it so you could see any of the rest of this. So anyway, stop share now. Let's see, how do I get back?
Could I make a proposal? Perhaps we do 3 renditions. One with the farm scene around the exterior that's in the silhouette style. One with just the farm equipment in the middle, and then one with them combined so they could visually see all 3.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what we were talking about.
Okay. Perfect.
Is that something you'll be able to take on? Do you feel good about?
I can do it.
Yeah.
How do I stop sharing?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it just wants me to share more. I want to quit.
Oh, there you are.
Diana had power.
Stop now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Are we feeling comfortable about this approach?
Okay.
So to summarize, I will go get with Lee. I'll first talk to him about providing pictures with dimensions. If I need to meet with him to go do that, I will take care of that. We will get them out to the committee so you all can see them. And then Kelly will do some renderings along with Katie, is what it kind of sounds like, for the plant aspect. And then Kelly, you'll do the artwork component of it. Did I understand all that correctly?
I can do the drawings, like I have done for the previous roundabouts.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you'll get us a plant list so we can all think about that, because they mentioned evergreens.
Yes.
So-
I will send out what I have, and if Katie, you'll send out what you have as well, that would be helpful.
Yes.
And dimensions, don't forget dimensions. I think that'll be important.
I wrote that down.
Is there any schematic that shows the actual dimensions of that roundabout with all the electrical boxes inside that's not a photograph? That actually shows the...
I'm 95% certain we have an as-built. I'm not sure if it actually shows the dimensions of how far off the utility boxes are, but we can get that information.
Yeah, because the other concern I have are the poles that you need for the signage that are also in that roundabout. You know, one way, this way, that way. That's busy as well.
So the signposts themselves are 2-inch square tubing.
Yeah.
And then the signs with the chevrons on them are 18 by 24 inches.
And how high up are they?
7 feet.
Yeah, see, that also impacts things. My concern with that is the size since they're not happy with trees, that makes foliage difficult, vegetation problematic.
Evergreen huckleberries, there's some evergreen blueberry,
Yeah.
and that sort of still fits the whole crop agriculture idea I was thinking.
Yeah.
And you can prune them nice and low if they need to be. And you can also let them go a little crazy, so.
Yeah.
We need flag holding brackets too.
Yeah, let's not forget that.
True. Okay.
Can I ask about, it's been mentioned all the things in the roundabout, and if a knee wall is installed, will it be possible to make the grade inside of the roundabout similar to the one we recently did? In other words, arc to a center point